The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Bridget's discovery, Luna's deception, and Bill's shocking paternity twist in one of the most explosive revelations in The Bold and the Beautiful history. The long-awaited DNA results are finally in, and the truth is far more twisted than anyone could have imagined. What began as a standard paternity test spirals into a massive medical conspiracy involving stolen identities, falsified documents, bribery, and a shocking betrayal that threatens to destroy the fragile web of relationships between the Forresters, the Spencers, and everyone entangled in this family war. It all starts when Bridget Forrester returns to Los Angeles to conduct a paternity test on Luna, Nozawa's unborn child. The assumption, from Luna herself, is clear: Will Spencer is the father. That night at Il Giardino, foggy, manipulated, and shrouded in confusion, led to the conclusion that Will was the only possibility. Luna insisted it, and Will, though devastated, agreed to the test to find closure. But when Bridget receives the DNA results, the answer is definitive: Will is not the father. The revelation shocks everyone. Will is visibly shaken, not with disappointment but confusion. Luna stands frozen, her face betraying her certainty that something has gone horribly wrong. This wasn't the outcome she expected. Katie, standing next to her son, breathes a sigh of relief. But it's short-lived, because what follows will rattle her world far more deeply. After hearing the results, Luna pauses, breathes deeply, and with a trembling voice says something no one expected to hear. Bill is the father. The words echo through the room like a gunshot. Katie's heart sinks. Will looks horrified. Bridget's eyes narrow in disbelief. Ridge, watching silently, feels the rage simmering beneath the surface. Luna's confession is so outlandish it demands explanation. Bill? Not Will, but Bill Spencer, Will's father? The implications are mind-numbing. Did Luna have an affair with both father and son? Did she seduce Bill in secret? The tension explodes. Luna quickly clarifies: It wasn't like that. I didn't sleep with him. I used a fertility clinic. Artificial insemination. The silence that follows is deafening. It's not just that Luna is pregnant. It's that she chose to become pregnant, using Bill Spencer's frozen sperm. Bridget, stunned but composed, demands full disclosure. If that's true, we need to verify it now. Every step, she returns to the lab and orders a second verification using the preserved DNA samples. As she digs deeper, she uncovers something even more troubling: two versions of the lab record. One original, signed off by an attending technician. The other, digitally altered, with the signature forged and time stamped at 2:43 a.m. The night Luna was admitted to the hospital. Bridget pulls the server logs and finds another chilling clue. Someone accessed the system using a secondary account belonging to Will Spencer. Bridget's stomach churns. This wasn't just deception. This was a coordinated infiltration of hospital records, and someone used Will's login to do it. She quickly informs legal counsel, and Carter Walton steps in as the hospital's representative. He urges immediate closure of the case and insists all records be sealed pending internal review. But Bridget, trusting her instincts, secretly preserves a secondary sample from the test, just in case. What she finds next changes everything. She pulls the database from the hospital's sperm bank, looking through archived records. She finds one labeled Sample 17, originally catalogued under a restricted code tied to Bill Spencer. But it doesn't end there. The sample, which should have remained untouched, was moved twice in a 24-hour window. The second transfer happened just hours before Luna's insemination. Bridget's suspicion hardens into certainty. Someone altered the system and rerouted the sample intentionally. The smoking gun arrives when hospital security admits that a masked woman, long hair, slim build, wearing sunglasses and a face mask, was seen entering the secure floor that night. He didn't report it. Why? Because he received what he calls a generous thank you gift, cash in an envelope. The woman's description matches Luna. When confronted again, Luna cracks. Yes, she says, I paid to access the clinic. But it wasn't just me. I was forced into it. Her voice shakes, but not from fear, from desperation. Someone knew about my past. Things I've hidden for years. They threatened me. They said if I didn't go through with it, they'd ruin everything. The room demands more, but she stays silent on who that someone is. The pressure mounts. Ridge Forrester, furious and disgusted, pushes the medical board to investigate immediately. His daughter Steffi is already recovering from the trauma Luna caused. He won't let it escalate further. But the deeper the board digs, the more the scandal implicates people at the highest levels of hospital administration. And Bridget, caught in the middle, must choose between loyalty to her profession and loyalty to her family. Bridget is not the only one whose world is spinning. Katie, learning all of this while standing next to Bill, is paralyzed. After years of distance, betrayal, and slow attempts at reconciliation, the idea that Bill could be the biological father of Luna's baby is a blow she never saw coming. Her trust, which had only just begun to recover, is shattered all over again. Bill, meanwhile, is stunned. He denies any recent contact with Luna. I didn't authorize anything, he insists. But his name is on the file. His DNA is a match. Whether he knew it or not, he is the father. Bridget reviews the system logs again. Someone used Will's secondary account to access the clinic files. But Will claims he never logged in. In fact, he wasn't even in the country the day the records were accessed. That means someone spoofed his credentials. Someone with knowledge of his login, or access to his devices. Then, the final blow lands. Footage recovered from the clinic's old security system. Grainy, low res, but clear enough, shows Luna entering the building late at night. She's not alone. Walking beside her, in a trench coat and large sunglasses, is a woman who seems familiar. Bridget enhances the footage, comparing profiles. The jawline, the walk, the timing. The second figure is Poppy, Luna's mother. Now, everything changes. Poppy, who had previously distanced herself from Luna's drama, is suddenly implicated in a calculated plan to steal Bill Spencer's sperm, falsify hospital records, bribe a guard, and engineer a pregnancy that would link her daughter to one of the wealthiest families in Los Angeles. All of it, the pregnancy, the hospital manipulation, the secrecy, is part of something much larger. Was Poppy the anonymous figure Luna claimed had blackmailed her? Or was she the mastermind from the beginning? Bridget now faces a dire choice. Go public and face lawsuits, investigations, and personal ruin. Or stay silent and let this manipulation stand, knowing that a child, an innocent life, is at the center of a dark conspiracy. And then there's Bill, the man who had no idea he had fathered a child through unauthorized means, now must decide whether to fight for custody, walk away, or demand justice for how he was used. Katie is broken, unsure whether she can ever look at him the same way again. Will is traumatized, not only by Luna's betrayal but by the realization that someone used his credentials to commit a felony. Ridge demands criminal charges. Sheila, suspiciously quiet, watches from the sidelines. Her motives unclear, her next move unpredictable. Luna remains at the center of it all, bruised, scared, and defiant. She claims she had no choice. She claims she was a victim. But too many lies have already unraveled. Too many lives have been disrupted. Too many secrets remain. The Bold and the Beautiful has always been a world of passion, betrayal, and impossible choices. But this chapter rewrites everything. The father is not who anyone expected. The test was tampered. The hospital was hacked. And now, no one is safe from what's coming next. Because when Bridget brings this truth to light, and she will, the fallout will hit harder than anyone is prepared for. And it won't just destroy trust. It could destroy families. Forever. The Bold and the Beautiful, redemption, recoil, and a hidden hand. Bill's baby bombshell erupts into scandal. The world of The Bold and the Beautiful has never been short on drama, but the latest storyline throws every known rule of trust, biology, and ambition into a firestorm of betrayal, legal chaos, and corporate warfare. What started with Luna Nozawa's shocking pregnancy has now snowballed into a national scandal, implicating not only Bill Spencer and his son Will but also Bridget Forrester, Forrester Creations, Spencer Publications, and the very hospital trusted to uphold ethical medical practice. A supposed sperm donation has turned into a war over identity, control, and reputations, and at the center of it all is a child neither expected nor explained. It begins with Bill Spencer. Once the truth surfaces, that he, not Will, is the biological father of Luna's child, Bill doesn't recoil. He doesn't deny, he doesn't hide. Instead, he leans into the chaos with full force. For Bill, this child isn't a mistake or a scandal, it's a symbol. A second chance. A shot at redemption after years of damaged relationships, failed fatherhood, and questionable choices. Public opinion, family backlash, none of it matters to him. He sees this child as a lifeline, a chance to rewrite his legacy, not through wealth or dominance, but by showing the world that even a man like him can change. Despite being warned by Katie, Will, and even his own legal team, Bill decides to make it official. He wants to go public. Not just acknowledge the child, but claim paternity, request custody rights, and announce to the world that he's stepping up. But Luna, still reeling from the unraveling of her deception and barely holding herself together, places one hard condition on the table. Bill must not name her anonymous donor. To Luna, maintaining the secrecy of the donation, even if now it's been exposed as stolen, is the only way to preserve what little dignity she has left. She doesn't want to be seen as the woman who schemed her way into the Spencer bloodline through a lab and a bribe. She knows the fallout from public disclosure could be irreversible. Bill's team urges him to comply. The hospital pleads for discretion. But Bridget, cornered by her oath as a medical professional, steps in with a bombshell of her own. The law requires full disclosure when there is legal dispute over parentage. Luna protests. Bill wavers. But the press conference proceeds. The Spencer building is filled to the brim. Reporters line every corner. Forrester's executive team watches from screens, horrified as their brand is dragged into a scandal they never signed up for. Carter, now caught between hospital legal protocols and personal allegiances, tries to limit the damage. But there's no way to contain what's about to happen. Bill walks to the podium. Calm, measured, but with fire in his eyes. This child, he says, voice steady, is mine. Not by chance. Not by accident. By blood. And no matter the circumstances of conception, I will be the father this child deserves. I take full responsibility for the life I helped create. Luna breaks down in tears. Not the silent kind, full, visible collapse. Cameras click in rapid fire. Will Spencer stands behind his father, stone-faced, hollow-eyed, stunned. Just months ago, he was being questioned as the baby's father. Now he stands beside a man who may have unknowingly supplied the child's biology through frozen genetic material, and who now embraces the role proudly. But this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Within hours, Spencer Publications' stock plummets. Investors flee. Gossip sites explode. Competitors smell blood. But that's only half the storm. Forrester Creations, tied financially and reputationally to the hospital involved, becomes collateral damage. Ridge Forrester demands answers. Eric and Steffi meet in private, wondering whether to distance the brand or weather the heat. Meanwhile, Bridget Forrester, already under scrutiny, returns to her office to find something chilling. An unmarked envelope, slid under her door. No note, no signature. Inside, a DNA report, dated days before Luna's bribery. The original test results. Clean, verified, untainted. And they contain a truth more shocking than anything revealed on camera. The embryo implanted in Luna's procedure was not sample 17. The Bill Spencer labeled sperm that the world now believes is the father. It was sample 04. A completely different donor. Bridget freezes. The implications are staggering. This means Luna initially received a different embryo. Not Bill's. Someone else's. It wasn't until after her initial procedure that the embryo was switched. Which means someone, other than Luna, orchestrated a second tampering. The questions multiply at light speed. Who accessed the storage again? Why? Who had the motive to frame Bill as the donor, even when the original wasn't his? Did Luna really know the full extent of what was done? Or was she also a pawn? Bridget begins tracing logs, checking access records at the fertility clinic. One line item jumps out. A duplicate transaction processed just hours after the original implantation. A mysterious routine file adjustment logged under a user with elevated clearance. A record showing that sample 04 was replaced with sample 17. All within 12 hours. She replays the surveillance footage again, the one that showed Luna entering the clinic in disguise. Only now, she watches closer. Slows the frame. Enhances the image. Standing next to Luna is a second woman. Shorter, older, disguised but recognizable. Poppy. Bridget nearly drops the screen. Poppy Nozawa. Luna's mother. The woman who claimed innocence, who claimed distance, who denied knowing any of Luna's plan. She was there. She was inside the clinic. She accompanied Luna. Or worse, she led her. Bridget keeps digging. Finds the nurse logbook. The night technician who approved the adjustment no longer works at the clinic. Sudden resignation. A second security guard admits to receiving a gift basket for working an unscheduled break that night. A florist receipt in Luna's name is confirmed. Paid in cash. Delivered to that technician's home the next morning. It all fits. But it raises one terrifying conclusion. Luna didn't just bribe her way into a lab. Someone deliberately swapped the embryo after implantation, ensuring that if the pregnancy went public, the DNA would match Bill Spencer, not the original anonymous donor. And the only person with a clear motive to do that was Poppy. Bridget now holds the most dangerous piece of evidence in the entire scandal. A document proving that Bill isn't actually the biological father of Luna's child. That everything, the press conference, the declaration of fatherhood, the media storm, the market collapse, was built on a false match. A lie sealed in a petri dish. She knows what will happen if she reveals this. Bill will lose custody. Luna may face criminal charges. Poppy could be indicted. The hospital would collapse under scandal. Will's name would be cleared, but Katie would be devastated all over again. And Bridget herself would be seen either as a savior or as a traitor, depending on which side of the fallout you stand. But keeping it hidden? Letting the lie breathe. Letting Bill raise a child that isn't his. Letting Luna's deception become permanent. That's even worse. So Bridget locks the envelope in her private safe. For now. But the damage is already rippling. Katie confronts Bill that night, demanding to know what he really remembers about donating sperm. He swears he signed the release years ago, under the impression it was anonymous and off the books. She doesn't believe him. She walks out. Again. Will refuses to speak to his father. Ashamed that he almost lost his relationship with Electra over a child that was never his. Spencer Media issues a damage control statement. Ridge pulls Forrester's funding from the hospital foundation. Eric calls for an internal inquiry. And Luna? She vanishes. Gone. No note. No trace. Her phone disconnected. Poppy unresponsive. Mother and daughter disappear like ghosts. But Bridget knows it won't be long before they return. Because lies don't stay buried. Embryos don't swap themselves. And the truth always finds a way out. Especially in the bold and the beautiful.